this is a response to a gal named at the Bible Chick. This guy Octo, he's basically running this. He's like running her video, and then he's like putting up these little slides that are actually kind of, in my opinion, kind of stupid because they're not. He's not actually debunking anything. He's not actually responding. When last we left off, we had been talking about she had talked about the Yule not being part of Christmas, as it was originally pagan, and that it was kind of co-opted by Christianity to make certain things, but it's not technically part of Christmas. As we saw in that video, when he's talking about let people eat their fancy cakes, the Bûche de Noël is. So anyway, let's jump back in and let's see where we're at.
Again, the Christmas tree, probably sitting in your living room today, was also used to celebrate the winter solstice and other festivals. Even the mistletoe that we see people kissing under in all of the Hallmark movies, and my favorite, The Grinch. And get this, Santa Claus is based on the pagan idea of spirits traveling the sky midwinter.
A lot of people believe that Santa Claus was actually about that, but so let's jump back.
I don't think I'll ever look at Santa Claus the same ever again after hearing that.
Okay. So, no. That's not what this is. Because Santa Claus is not strictly pagan. Again, Santa Claus is based on a character from Christian history. Saint Nicholas. Okay? Now, you can stand there and say that, oh, well, certain parts, certain aspects of Santa Claus were inspired by Odin. Sure. Father Christmas was a person in English Christianity before Santa Claus became popularized. Okay? And they merged Father Christmas and Saint Nicholas together to make, and then the Dutch Sinterklaas to make Santa Claus. So really we have three main things, okay, that have nothing to do with paganism, which are the majority of where we get the Santa Claus myth from. So unless you're not doing your research, which it doesn't sound like the Bible Chick is doing her research, that's probably why.
Maybe you're saying, Taylor, Jesus wasn't even born on Christmas. It's a pagan holiday altogether. The Bible never tells us anything about Jesus' birthday, nor does it say anything about Christmas. Correct.
Actually, it does say a lot about Jesus' birth. It does not give us an exact date. That we have to infer, which is exactly what I was talking about in the first part, where if you look at the book of Luke, okay, and you read when Zacharias was in the temple when he was approached by Gabriel, he was in there to make an incense offering. Now, if you go in and you find out the months in the Jewish calendar, okay, and you figure out which festival he was at, then you count 6 months from that, because that's when Gabriel visited Mary, and that's when Mary became pregnant by the Holy Spirit. And then she goes to visit Elizabeth, and that's when John leaps in her womb. 9 months after that is when Jesus was born, which is why we derive December the 25th. Okay? It just so happened that certain pagan traditions use a winter solstice as their thing, which is the 21st. Okay? And yes, some of the original popes and Orthodox Christians tried to take some of those traditions and amalgamate them in with the Christian. Are we trying to focus more on worshiping Santa Claus? Or are we trying to focus more on worshiping the child that was born to die for our sins? Where is your focus? That's why you'll see Christians say Jesus is the reason for the season. And sometimes if you go to like a Hobby Lobby or something like that, you'll see a lot of those type of things. Jesus is the reason for the season. Or you'll see the reason for the season, and then you'll see a nativity scene. Okay? Which typically shows the birth of Jesus, because that's the reason for the season. Again, that's the only true holy day in December. Okay? So whether or not Jesus was truly born on December 25th, or he was born in September, it doesn't matter. The point is that us as Christians, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And that was when the early church set the celebrations, was in December. Okay? Based on clues found in this. Is that making sense to everybody? I hope so.
Correct. Christmas is not biblical. The traditional Christian Christmas goes back to the 25th of December, 273 years after Christ.
Well, again, I just shared crucial evidence suggesting the actual credibility of this date based on the biblical text. Okay? Now, I asked the question, who cares? I don't. Most people don't, because if it had been that big of a deal to the early church fathers, they would have changed the friggin' date by now. Okay? And it's not a randomness of the date. Okay? Now, you, sir, you, Octo, deemed it unimportant. Because you're trying to say that it's unimportant to you because you don't believe in Jesus. That's fine. Why are you celebrating Christmas then? You ever ask yourself that question? Why are you celebrating Christmas if you're an atheist? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it honestly does not make a single lick of sense for you, sir, to celebrate Christmas. Or for any atheist, for that matter, to celebrate Christmas. Because there is nothing there for you. Because as we've seen, Santa Claus is clearly not solely based on just paganism. Christmas itself is based on Christ's Mass. Okay? The only thing that you could possibly celebrate at this time of the year, if you wanted to celebrate something, okay, would be the Festivus BS holiday, okay, replacement for Christmas on December the 23rd, if you wanted to celebrate anything at all. But there's no gift giving in that. Okay. There might be a meal provided. There's the wrestling, the feat of strength, but there's no gift giving involved. There's no trees, there's no lights, there's no nothing. So you're left with that, or go celebrate the Yule in January. Because honestly, that's all you have left, son, at this point. Okay? Because us Christians, we're taking Christmas back. Okay? We're sick and tired of you people trying to co-opt Christmas and claim it's not. It's some pagan holiday when it's absolutely not. Because again, it's based on this. Now, Bible girl, Bible chick, she doesn't know that. Okay? And maybe I'll post it up in her video about this. Maybe I'll post up this response so that she understands where things come from. Okay? So that she understands where things are and just how idiotic this kind of a response is. Okay? It's not a randomness of the day, son. Okay? Because you'd have to prove that the 25th was just chosen by them throwing darts at a dartboard. It wasn't. And it certainly wasn't chosen because it was a pagan holiday. Because no pagan holidays coincide with the 25th of December. Not even the Yule celebrations coincide with the 25th of December. They actually are more in January than they are in December. So, yeah, stupid logic.
There was also...
And before she continues, I just want to say this. This is the stupidity of atheism. Because they just state things and don't back up a single thing that they're trying to state. You notice that? He hasn't provided one single iota of fact to back up a single thing that he has said. Okay? And yet I've pulled up articles on Hanukkah. I've pulled up different articles on the different festivals. I brought up Kwanzaa. Okay? I brought up how many Christians there are worldwide. This guy has no idea what is going on in any place, let alone inside of his own mind. Which source? Because he just keeps trying to say certain things in hopes that it actually brings about some kind of change. It won't, because you have no idea what you're talking about, son.
Also two other pagan festivals that worshipped the sun, which were during the reign of Constantine, which is why today we see the Yule log, we see people's houses decorated, we have the tree in our living room. Many people believe that the church specifically chose the 25th of December to celebrate Christ because they wanted to counteract the influence of paganism.
Again, no. And my point is that nowhere does it say that the Emperor Constantine, okay, was a pagan who was worshiping the sun. I don't know where she got that from. I've never heard that before. I know that he was a pagan before he turned to Christianity, but once he turned to Christianity, I know that he kind of worked with the Catholic Church to kind of try to win